God bless you this wonderful Thursday morning, late morning. Welcome to Across the Table with ELS. Greetings to God's people all over the world. First of all, I want to give honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to give honor to my wife and my family, to you and your family, to Bishop Curtis Jackson and Better Covenant Ministries up in Richmond, and to all those who know me and don't know me. I like to today, this morning, thank you for your support. I also want to give a shout out to those who have been blessing me the whole month of October, Pastor's Appreciation Month. I hope that you are blessing your leaders and appreciating your leaders worldwide who are imparting the word of God and bringing a blessing to your life on a regular basis. So I'd like to thank all those folks that have been blessing me, definitely on my job, it's just overwhelming that we had some tears together and we didn't have some laughs together. But nevertheless, I thank God for you all and keep me in your prayers as I continue to do God's work willingly, not stressfully, that I may be a blessing to your life. So today we wanted to talk about, I wanted to bring the subject because we are in a season of change. I want to talk about change today. I don't want to stay before you too long, but I want everything in life is about changing. There are people who, ministers and positive people all over the world. What are we preaching? Change. Accepting Jesus Christ in your life. Getting a strong foundation with God in your life. Everything revolves around change. Change is going to come whether you embrace it or not. I need to say that again. Change is going to come whether you embrace it or not. I want you to think about that for a moment. Let me get my coffee and we're going to get busy. So what is change? I want to talk about two scriptures that the Apostle Paul wrote in Colossians and the book of Ephesians. I'm going to read those scriptures first, and then I'll get into my notes as we attack this thing called change. Everybody, I believe everybody's going to get something out of this teaching today. At least something to think about, so you can prepare for, and for your life to be better. Because that's what I'm here. My joy, my reward in life is seeing your life get better. So let's go over here to Colossians. Let me read the Ephesians scripture first. Ephesians chapter 4. If you have a Bible in your home, Ephesians chapter 4. I'm going to read verses 22 through 24. Ephesians chapter 4, 22 through 24. And it reads this: that you put off concerning your former conduct the old man, which grows corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Verse 24 says, and that you put on the new man, which was created according to God in true righteousness and holiness. Let's turn over here to Colossians chapter 3, and I want to read two verses from Colossians chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. And it reads, but now you yourselves are to put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy language out of your mouth. Do not lie to one another, since you have put off the old man with his deeds, and put on the new man, who is renewed in the knowledge according to the image of him who created him. If I want to bring a subject to this teaching today, I want to say change from the old way to the new way. Change from the old way to the new way. What is change? Let's define change. Change is to make someone or something different, to alter or to modify something. It's to replace something with something else, something newer and maybe better. Change is the act or instance of making or becoming different. Change, change, change. I want to tell you today that if you do not create change, change will create you. Oh, somebody got to hear me. Somebody got to hear me. I want you to ponder on that for a minute. If you do not create change, change will create you. So it's better to be the forerunner of change instead of change being the forerunner over you. We are often resistant to change, and we don't realize that change itself is constant. And even if you resist or avoid it, it will enter your life just the same. When you initiate change, when you initiate the change yourself, it's pretty easy to adapt to it since it's wanted by you. Now, people usually avoid changes and prefer to stay in their comfort zone, but I am a true believer that once you get the courage to take the first step, to change, your life will become much better. Change has many benefits for our lives if we embrace them ourselves. A lot of people are fear of change because of, I call it the comfort zone curse. But God is evolving our lives now. He is ready for us to change. He is ready for us to grow. We are no longer babes no more. We're adults. Paul said, when I was a child, I spoke and I thought like a child. But now that I'm adult, a man, I got to think and act according to being a man or a woman, grown man and woman. And change must happen in order for you to grow in life. Now, if you embrace it, God has no problem in navigating you quicker to your destiny and purpose in life. If you don't embrace it, it's going to embrace you anyway. Some of us do it. Some of us, God don't have to fight with. We go ahead and obey. We go ahead and change. Some of us, we're a little stubborn or a lot of stubborn. And we refuse to come out of that way that we are, that old way, like I said, and change to the new way. And so God had to let us go through a few things and a few things. Somebody talk to me. And a few more things in order for us to be convinced that change is good for our lives. Now, as I was saying, there is some benefits to change. We're going to go over a few of those things. I don't want to be, these young folks today, when you go around and you're talking to them and you're trying to encourage them, young folks today want to know why. Why change? I'm okay just the way I am. I'm good. I'm lit. Change is good when it's embraced. Change is fulfilling for your life. Change brings you into a place where God's will be manifested in your life. Change. What are some benefits? Let's talk about the benefits of change. Personal growth is a benefit of change. You grow, you learn new things. And every time something changes, you discover new insights about different aspects of life. You learn lessons, even from changes that did not lead you where you wanted to be. Personal growth. You learn lessons from changes that did not even lead you to where you wanted to be, but you still learn a lesson from it. Change gives you flexibility. Frequent changes make you easily adapt to new situations, new environments, new people. And as a result, you do not freak out when something unexpectedly shifts in your life. Change gives you that flexibility, that stability. So something happens, you don't be losing your mind because you embrace change. Change brings improvements to our life. We all have things in our lives that we like to improve. Our finances, in some cases our job, in some cases our partners, our house, and etc. Change. All of us know that nothing will improve by itself. We need to do things differently to make that happen. And without change, there will be no improvements in your life. Let me make that very clear. Without change, there will be no improvements in your life. Period. You'll go through the cycle of life over and over again. False hope. Hoping one day you're going to hit the big one. And you'll go right back around, push reset again. Because you're still empty. And you're still searching for something outside of God. And God is the one that will fulfill that need, that search, whether it's love, whether it's money, whatever it is. Humans always try to substitute everything else in place of God. But God is the ultimate improvement for your life. He can change everything. Finances, jobs, better your relationships. He can do everything you need him to do if you deem him to be necessary for your change in life. Change brings life values to you. From time to time, changes make you reevaluate your life and look at certain things from a different perspective. Depending on what the change is, it may also reinforce your life values. Some of us didn't come up with good values. Some of us did. Nevertheless, change brings life values into your life. Changes your perspective on the way you look at things. I don't care what background you came from. It reinforces some things in your life. Gives you some necessary disciplines in your life. It keeps you focused on the task at hand. Focus on your purpose and destiny in life. instead of being all over the place. Change does that for your life. I want to talk about this, what I call the snowball effect. Dealing with change. Often we give up because we cannot accomplish the difficult task of making a huge and immediate change. And that is when small changes become extremely valuable. One shift at a time, small change will eventually lead for the desired big change that you want in your life. Take small changes. Sometimes I say we get the snowball effect. That means we just throw our hands up because we don't want to make a big, huge change at one time. But I'm encouraging you today, don't get frustrated. Take small changes. Do small changes. One by one. However we get to the goal of change for the better of our lives, we're going to get there together. Change brings you strength. Not all changes lead you to pleasant periods in your life. I want to reinforce that. Not all changes lead you to pleasant periods in your life. Unfortunately, we do not live in a fairy tale, and sad things happen too. Overcoming the tough period will make you stronger. Change makes you stronger, even during the tough times, even during the unfortunate times. Like I said, we ain't living in a fairy tale. This real life. And sad things do happen, but change will get you through it. Change brings progress to your life. And what does progress do? Progress triggers progress. Oh, somebody got to hear me. Progress triggers progress. Things move forward and develop because of change. So when you start to change, you're going to trigger some progress in your life. It's like a trigger. It's like an on and off button. As soon as you start to embrace the change that God is trying to bring in your life, you will start to trigger progress. Somebody say, I need some progress to trigger in me. I want you to think about that for a minute. I'm trying to trigger progress in my life. I'm trying to start a cycle of progress in my life. I'm getting tired of doing the same thing, getting the same results in my life. I need progress. What does progress lead to? Opportunities. One never knows what each change may bring. When you turn from your usual path, there will be plenty of different opportunities waiting for you. Changes will bring new choices for happiness and what? Fulfillment. Changes do open up opportunities. Of course, people love to hear your testimony. Love to hear where you came from, where God delivered you from. Whether you was one who had a terrible mouth cussing somebody out at the drop of a dime, or jumping on somebody's face, or fighting, or just disrespectful, whatever it may be, whatever the shame, whether you were on drugs and now you're not on drugs, whether you were, whatever your thing was that was hindering you in life, when you change, God will create opportunities. Opportunities, what happens with opportunities? Opportunities open up it's like a light come on in you. And then you be like, man, if I knew that God was going to open up this door for me, I would have changed a long time ago. That's what change does to you. Everything that God does is good. When God sees you moving and start to trigger progress in your life, He will start to open up doors and opportunities and move you places you never thought that you would have never got there if you did not change. Change brings new beginnings. Each change is I'll call it a turning page. It's about closing one chapter and opening up another one. Changes bring new beginnings and excitement in your life. Yes, it does. Allow God to close that chapter. Some of us have been in that same chapter so long, we got 3 inches of dust in the book. Stop fighting it. That chapter is closing, but you better believe that God is opening up another one. As that one is closing, God is opening up another one. All you have to do is humble yourself. Make up your mind. I'm not staying the same no more. Because I'm going to tell you something about change. So a lot of us scared of change because we say, wait, man, if I change and if I become a Christian, if I, start serving God, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do that. Life is going to become boring to me. You ain't missing nothing. Look at what you do every week. It's the same old cycle, the same old party. But what happens when the music stops and the lights off and you in a place by yourself? You rather have popularity than change. somebody. You rather fit in than change. I said on a post earlier today, I said, you are the message that is going to bring the manifestation. And I want to add that you are the message that's going to bring the manifestation of change to your life and other people around you. You are the message. Routines. Routines keep us stuck from changing. Because you're comfortable with the routine. Think about that for a minute. I just like the routine because the routine keeps me in my comfort zone. The next time you get the temptation to avoid, resist the change, I want you to aim instead to initiate the ones that will lead you where you need to be. Because if there's no change, there wouldn't even be no butterflies. Everybody know what the caterpillar turns to? The butterfly. From what? From change. Oh, that metamorphosis is ready for your life to bloom. If you allow God to come on in. See, God is the ultimate upgrade. So the reason I say that is because if you think you were good before you had a relationship with God, I thought I was the man. Couldn't tell length of nothing. Imagine how you're going to be when you add God to your life. The creator, the one who made you, the one who can bring the maximum potential out of your life is God. Why? Because he made you. He knows what your DNA needs to rise to the top. He knows the mechanics. He has the owner's manual to his own product. So any changes or any kinks or any screws or any nuts and bolts in your life that need to be fixed, God is going to make sure he tighten it up real good so you can move and keep moving higher and higher in life. Change. Change changes your direction. What? To your destiny. Change creates changes for others in your life. Yes, it does. When you change, you're going to create changes for others in your life. Yeah. other people in your life. When you change, you're going to make things better for other people in your life by you changing, by you taking a step and changing and not waiting on nobody else. I don't know about you, but I love to keep getting better. Everybody got to die one day. I know that. That's inevitable. That just has to happen. But I'm going to go get her. And I like to keep on. Hey, Missy Elliott reinvented herself. Everybody remember Missy Elliott. Look, some of the young people just finding out who Missy Elliott is. She been around, but she reinvented herself. She changed for the better. Come back with a new, what y'all think is new is just another change for her to keep herself relevant in today's world. And I'm saying that because change is upon you. Change embraces God's guidance for your life. Change moves the message to a place of manifestation. You hear me? Change moves the message. Remember I said earlier, you the message. It moves the message to a place of manifestation. You can be a message. That means you got a lot of things in you that want to talk, that want to come out. Powerful message in your life. But change only brings the manifestation when you embrace God's will for your life. That's when you see the fullness of who you are. Change expands your territory and purpose in life. When you change, things open up. God open you up, give you more territory to cover. Change puts God in front and center in your life. Change brings the blessings straight out of you. Not nobody else, it's coming out of you. And change affects your old environment in a positive way. Yes, it does. It might not seem like it does, but it does. Yeah, your change will affect the environment that you live in a positive way. I want to say change blesses others through your obedience. So hear me today. The old change from the old way to the new way. It's time to change from the old way, somebody, to the new way. Why? Because change takes the limits off your life. There is going to be limits on your life as long as you don't embrace the change that God is trying to bring in your life. So I want you to think about it. I hope you got something from this message today. It's Thursday, little afternoon now. Think about your change. Because it's time. It's your time. It's my time. It's time to speak it and be it. God bless you. And may heaven smile upon you. Thank you again for tuning in Across the Table with ELS. God's willing, I will see you on Sunday for Sunday worship service. Take care and be blessed.